True Peace Ken's Autobotics works with AltaML and Amii to add AI capability to supply chains. Man, peep the slang. Supply chain operations have been using robots to meet shifting demand, and the addition of artificial intelligence could help them even more. Autobotics today announced a partnership with AltaML Inc. and the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute to add AI and machine learning to its supply chain infrastructure. The three organizations said they will work on projects combining AI with the Internet of Things to make operations more efficient, improve human-machine interactions, and enhance Autobotics data management capabilities. Man, Peter Slang, Calgary, Alberta-based Autobotics said it provides the world's first 3D robotic supply chain system for modern commerce, inspired by ant colonies. The company said its automated storage and retrieval system ASRS replaces the rows and aisles of traditional fulfillment centers with a pattern structure and robotic shuttles that use both horizontal and vertical space, reducing companies' warehouse space needs by 85% by enabling retailers to place fulfillment centers close to urban areas. Autobotics said it helps create jobs and decrease carbon emissions by closing the last mile delivery gap. The company raised $50 million last August, and its North American customers include department store, Nordstrom, and other retail across apparel, food and beverage, and home goods. Okay, Edmonton, Alberta-based AltaML said it applies its AI expertise with partners' domain knowledge to develop systems that deliver data for predictive value and enhance productivity. The Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute, Amii, is one of Canada's three centers of AI excellence conducting machine learning (ML) research. The nonprofit institute also provides educational offerings and business advice with the goal of building in-house AI capabilities. Autobotics' response to e-commerce shifts, the jab, pandemic has proven that the traditional supply chain is not sufficiently responsive to consumer behavior, according to Autobotics. Business need to integrate AI for transparency, predictive analytics, and network optimization, it said. Materials handling was pretty old school, with lots of conveyance and telemetry reporting used very reactively, said Mark Dickinson, Vice President of Software Solutions at Autobotics. In the past 5 to 10 years, we've started to see a lot of ASRS from Europe and companies like us disrupting the market for automated operations. There has been a marked shift from the brick and mortar retail replenishment model to e-commerce environments, he told Robotics 24/7. On the fulfillment side, it is used to be huge batch factors. You put stuff on a pallet and off it went. Now we're sending 15 operations on the same location to generate the same revenues as 18 months ago, while COVID has accelerated growth by about 10 years. The Fortune 100 have started to transition away from a regular distribution center, which might have 100 stores assigned to it, Dickinson said. Now they have distribution centers and e-commerce fulfillment centers. Most retailers are looking at leveraging all fulfillment points, including distribution partners and stores. Instead of 10 fulfillment points, you might have 1,500 to 5,000, like a Walmart. Man, Peter Slang. AI for predictive maintenance, tuning, fulfillment. We're trying to get this data, enhance it, and feed elements from outside the system, such as sensors for feedback tools, said Dickinson. We're taking it to the point of predicting equipment failure and then pulling an element out of service to perform maintenance while minimizing downtime. The company uses Internet of Things IoT data derived from cloud-based robotic operations. It has worked with Microsoft for supply chain management on the Azure cloud platform, and it recently partnered with FoodX for grocery fulfillment. If you start to look at certain parameters, AI can suggest where to tune things, Dickinson said. For example, if the total open order pool is 60% of stated throughput, there's no reason to run it at 100%, or you could reduce the speed to delay maintenance windows. How could we get more throughput out of fixed assets? Anything that can touch items such as lift trucks, conveyors, or operators, he asked. Most equipment providers have similar shuttles, mini loaders, and pallet cranes. Robots move at fixed speed, so you want to get to the most efficient picking process possible. It is really how you're leveraging the software, said Dickinson. We decouple storage and the throughput engine, which allows us to be very dynamic in how we move orders through the system. We have the ASRS slotted for the highest cubic velocity. For example, there could be 4 iPhones with different cases instead of 4 picks. We can make it 1 pick and add the cases. Our system is looking at fulfillment holistically. I watched the video earlier. Peep the slang, yo.
Good morning. I'm really thankful that you are here. We are there. How many of you bought something online this year? Please raise your hands. How many of you bought something online this month? This week? This morning? Now, show of hands. How many of you bought something online 10 years ago? Early adopters, I like you. The world has changed. Commerce has changed. Consumer behavior has changed dramatically. And it has a great deal of convenience for us, but impacts for the environment. We used to go to the shopping mall. We used to go to the goods, and now the goods come to us. And we've all heard of the retail apocalypse and how it's changing commerce. The goods come to us, though. They come to us at the lowest price, the largest selection, and convenient. We have expected now those things. We want what we want. We want it tomorrow. We want to be able to pick from broad selection. And we want it on our doorstep at the lowest cost. You have that power over modern commerce to change retailers' behavior. And we've seen this. By evidence of hands here, your influence is very, very strong. Now, those boxes of goods move through supply chain systems. Those supply chain systems were originally evolved for parcel post. And parcel post was when grandma wanted to send you cookies at Christmas time, not for you to get your groceries every other day. So to survive these systems, because they can be a little violent, they have to put your goods in a cardboard box and fill it full of air and dunnage, it's called, to protect it. How many of you have opened up a cardboard box, looked inside, and you've ordered something this big in a box that comes this big? Can I see your hands? So that is only so they can survive traditional conveyor-based parcel sortation systems. Now, those parcel post systems evolved off of actually check clearinghouses, where everything would go to one central point, they would be sorted and then redistributed. So that hub and spoke model is what's evolved in all parcel post courier companies. And it made sense when there was very few parcels, but doesn't make sense now. Statista reports that in 2018, Canadians spent $50 billion online. And they predict that it's going to grow by $10 billion in the next 4 years. This isn't going away, but this system that we use doesn't support itself over the long term. About half of the things you order because you want it tomorrow came from someplace far away on a plane. Think about all that airspace in that empty box. Think about the carbon footprint of what you've just ordered. Not only the box, but there's an environmental cost to convenience. And we'd like to lessen that. So FedEx reports that they move 14 million packages per day. Now that's one carrier on one day. So FedEx, if you do the math, is moving about 5 billion packages each and every year. And over half of them by air. So what's changed? When we went to the mall, the t-shirts we would buy would come in a box of probably 30. And someone there would take them, put them on the shelf. We would go pick them off the shelf, they'd get them in a paper bag, and we'd take them home. Now what's changed is those same 30 shirts now come in one box, but get distributed in 30 more boxes. Once again, just to survive the sortation systems of parcel post technology. So this is what we end up with. China's natural sword policy now has changed to not start to recycle cardboard produced in North America. We used to ship all of our old cardboard over to Asian countries for recycling because there is really no infrastructure to manage the pure volume of cardboard boxes produced through modern commerce. So what are we doing with it now? We can look at ourselves and say, hey, we recycle. So we can absolve ourselves of some responsibility, but understand just because it goes in a blue bin doesn't mean it actually doesn't end up in a landfill. When we have no place to put that cardboard, recycling companies now are starting to move them into landfills. So we got to think about this differently. And that's what we did at Attabottics. We wanted to try to find a solution to this problem and others. So I took some inspiration from a gentleman named Dr. Walter Chinkel. He's standing next to an aluminum casting of a leaf cutter ant colony. And in seeing this little documentary piece that I saw online, I was looking for a solution that was ideal for robots and not for people when it came to modern supply chain fulfillment. We are two-dimensional. You probably notice I'm pacing on the stage because we live in a plane. We only move in 2 dimensions, but ants exist in 3. Ants are one of the most successful natural systems on the planet. Going back to the picnic idea, we don't notice they're there. But if you added up all the biomass of ants on the planet, so every single ant's on one side of the scale, every single human being on the other side of the scale, ants would weigh more than all the humans on the planet. So, but we don't realize they're there. And the creepy part, too, is termites are about 2.5 times as many as ants. So I really hope we never upset them. Let's just hope they stay in the ground where we don't notice them. We have scarred the planet being a 2-dimensional species. We need rows and aisles and roads and pathways to get everywhere. Ants are such an efficient user of space, even in an ecosystem, that they distribute themselves evenly through that ecosystem, not to overwhelm any one part of it. So taking inspiration from these successful natural systems, we thought about supply chain. So we built a system derived from the way ants build their colonies. And in order to do that, we had to create the world's first 3D robotic shuttle. So not only do we do a better job of storing goods that you buy online, but because our ants are able to move these goods and build the order for you for commerce, we have no need for conveyor-based sortation systems. All of our technology is based off of this unit and this technology. So we're trying to solve the problem of the box with a bigger box. The idea is that we can create a multi-nodal supply chain. We can create a distributed network of fulfillment centers and move the goods not from a central hub, but distributed throughout the ecosystem to better balance the resources and bring them closer to you, the consumer. Now, in this ecosystem, we never use parcel-based sortation technology, which means we never have to use a cardboard box. So what we're attempting to do is lessen the last mile cost, get rid of 80% of air cargo, bring it to you within a 2-hour to an 8-hour time horizon. We're going to lower the costs for the retailers so we can make e-commerce profitable for them. We're going to reduce the environmental impact of modern commerce while providing a higher level of service. But in order to do that, we're trying to do our part by developing the technology needed to fulfill a modern commerce in this modern world. But I need you to do your part. I need you to start asking your retailers that you buy online from what you should do with the box they send to you. We need them to start thinking differently, and you have all the power. You've already got broader selection, lower pricing, next day, same day delivery. Now I want you to start asking them not for just those services. I need you to start asking them for some guidance and some new thinking about what you should do with the box when you're done. Thank you.
True Peace Ken's partners to provide actionable data in real time. Antibiotics added that AltaML and Amii will help it build out its digitally integrated distributed network. AltaML builds and deploys AI-powered software for complex problems, creating new competitive advantage for our partners, said Nicole Janetson, co-CEO of AltaML. Attabottics has disrupted traditional warehousing, and we are thrilled to work with them and aiming to optimize their processes through applied AI. Our intent is to display customer level data in real time and provide trend analysis. Here's how to get where you want to be, said Dickinson. We want to present information so it can affect operations today rather than tomorrow. There are different ways a customer could use this system. They could want to see all SKU stock keeping units in our system, or a subject for a larger building. He explained, with AI and digital twins, you could run varying simulations to come up with the suggested outputs. Showing you an example. Trio demonstrations Canadian AI prowess. We're excited to work with two world-renowned organizations to build the future of innovation in Canada, stated Scott Greville, CEO of Attabottics. Creating alliances with industry-leading partners is something we've put an emphasis on, which is why we're so grateful to have identified the right partners in AltaML and Amii to help further to optimize our platform as we revolutionize the supply chain. The partnership will also support the growth of Calgary and Alberta as an innovative hub, said the organization. Amii is thrilled to be part of this one-of-a-kind collaboration, bringing together three of Alberta's leading technology organizations, said Cam Linke, CEO of Amii. Together, we're demonstrating the province's reputation as a hub for technology and artificial intelligence through the combination of Attabottics, transformational work in advanced robotics for supply chain, Amii's leadership and expertise in artificial intelligence research and development, and AltaML's proven record in applying AI to create business impact. This partnership shows the power of public-private partnership and is further proof of Alberta's leadership in the research and application of AI, Linke said. Man, peep the slang.